Hello and good afternoon. There are speculations all over the Christian world that the coronavirus is as a result of the end times last plagues, which was spoken of in Revelation. However, despite these shy Christians coming forward and warning the government that this coronavirus, they believe it to be a pestilence, one of the seven plagues, I think, which was foretold in Revelation. These Christians are not really warning, anyone because they are terrified. So they're keeping this to themselves. You think to yourself that if you have a message from God to warn the nation, you would think that you have a responsibility to go out there like Jeremiah when he warned people, turn away from your sins. And they ignored Jeremiah, and as a result, Jerusalem fell. I think it was in AD 70, which he prophesied. Now, in 2015, I had a dream that there was an earthquake in Britain, 2015, and the government could not get anything right. There were this is in the dream. The government was round the table, and they looked at each other and they says, "Why are we cursed? Why can't we get anything right?" I had this dream in 2015, and I was summoned in this dream to 10 Downing Street, and I said the reason why that Britain is cursed is because you're persecuting the church. Now, this dream I had in 2015, and then Brexit took place in 2016. I've actually made videos regarding this, and I actually made videos where I said that every development of Brexit, deal with Europe is going to fail because of the dream I had or the vision I had. And so far, it seems that my dream is coming true. But what's interesting, Brexit or the development of Brexit was actually quite how can I put it? It was creating in itself a political earthquake because Scotland wanted independence, and the IRA are saying they're going to start off, bombing, etc. So this is the earthquake, a sudden shift. However, what's interesting, before the Brexit negotiation even began, now you're having to deal with coronavirus, which is interesting because the Brexit was shocking enough for the nation, those who chose to remain. It was shocking to the system. And before they could even get used to it, before they could even recover, then suddenly the coronavirus started to kill off the Italians, started off in China, etc. And people are saying that, Christians are saying that it's got to be, God, even though they keep it quiet, and won't spread the message. In one of my videos, I actually called it Jeremiah 20 was my prophecy on Brexit Britain being cursed, false, fake, or untrue. I also did another video called Prophetic Warning to Babylon Britain, Shocking Crisis Will Cripple the UK. I made that in October the 8th, 2019, right, which I titled the video Prophetic Warning to Babylon Britain, Shocking Crisis Will Cripple the UK. I made loads of videos like these. And what's interesting, the coronavirus is shaking up the whole system. I went shopping today. I couldn't even get toilet rolls. People were panic buying. And it's interesting because one of my prophecy, I actually said that, do you know something? God will bring down the nation to their knees, that they won't even be able to afford toilet roll. Can you imagine toilet roll is the most degrading thing, to want to go and panic buy? People are panic buying toilet rolls as if it was the last days, the end times. And obviously, we cannot prevent the spreading of immorality. because the Bible predicted that in the last days there's going to be immorality, incest, every kind of sexual perversion. The Bible did predict that would happen, that people would become godless. The Bible did predict that, okay? And Jesus even said that in the last day, will I find faith? Because it's going to get so bad. But when you start to tell Christians that you have to bow down to the New World Order, when you tell Christians that you have to worship Rome, when you tell Christians that you have to see Caesar as God, then God starts to step in and roll up his sleeves, because you can do your madness, your progressive European enlightenment, which comes from the Greeks. Paul in the Bible, when he was dealing with this pagan culture, and he says, I battled with the beast. He was talking about the philosophers of Aristotle and Plato with their human progressive nonsense, battling with the beast, this forbidden knowledge. And this kind of thing you do to yourself. Keep it to yourself. If you want to go to hell, you do it to yourself. But when you try to persecute Christians and tell them that they can lose their jobs because they don't want to call a man a woman and a woman a man, and they have to play ball game with this satanic New World Order, and a lot of Christians are too fearful to come out and practice their faith. A lot of Christians are too fearful to go out and preach the gospel. Well, do not fear anymore, because God is on your side. This is only a warm-up. It will get worse. Do you remember Pharaoh's plagues? When God said, let my people go. Let my people go so they can worship me in spirit and in truth. I can have a relationship with them. And Pharaoh wouldn't do it. So what did God do? He toughened the heart of Pharaoh, toughened him up, ready to break him down. Europe is arrogant. They're tough. But you know something? They claim that they have a cure for this virus. They have a cure for it. So in their delusions, they think they can counteract the curse that is going to hit Britain. I stand by my dream. Cure or no cure, this is only a warm-up for what you're doing to the church. You can practice your madness in your own spare time, but you do not touch God's elect. You do not mess with God's people, and God will demonstrate and show how powerful He is. He's used plague in history. I think it was in history there were only three major pandemic. One recorded in 541, I think, 1347, and 1894. But I saw three major plagues which affected animals, nations across continents, and things like that. So in history, I think there's only been three major plagues. So this is in considering we're living in an advanced life and technology, etc. This is relatively quite shocking. You would think to yourself that it should happen in the 500, 1800s, and that is it. But for it to suddenly come out of nowhere, and people are now panic buying and going crazy, fighting for fist fighting for toilet rolls, really become savages, fist fighting for toilet rolls. That is nothing. There is worse to come. You either leave the church alone, stop persecuting us, stop forcing us to follow your madness, your crazy pagan culture, or there'll be worse to come. You mark my words. I stand by my dream. It takes guts. When you have a dream and you think, well, suppose my dream is wrong. I actually made videos regarding this when I says, well, Britain claimed they're going to have a good negotiation with Europe. And I'm thinking, well, it's supposed to flop, because if Britain is cursed, then the wrath of God is on Britain. And you might say, why Britain? Because Britain was showing off. We're a Christian country. We went around the world spreading the gospel. And now look at her now. Look at her. She allowed gay pride to blaspheme the Holy One of Israel. Blaspheme Jesus, right? Taking the mickey out of him. And I stand by my dream. This coronavirus, people are, they're panicking and scared. You want to see the power of God. Like King Nebuchadnezzar, you will fall on all fours like a dumb animal until you leave the church alone. Practice what you want to do in your private affairs, but you leave God to have this relationship with his people. Stop blaspheming. Stop playing with the church, or you will see it get worse. You mark my words.